Why do you overthink everything? Not sometimes, everything. The conversation you had 3 days ago, the email you haven't sent yet, the decision that should take 5 minutes but has taken 5 weeks. You already know the answer you're looking for. You've known it for a while, but your mind won't stop running. The Stoics had a name for this, and more importantly, they had a cure. These are 7 Stoic principles that will stop overthinking in its tracks. Principle 1: most of what you are thinking about will never happen. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Take every worry you've had in the last month, every worst case scenario, every conversation you rehearsed that never happened, every disaster you prepared for that never came. How many of them actually happened? Almost none. Your mind is not a prediction machine, it's a catastrophe machine. It generates suffering on demand, for free, about futures that will never exist. The first step to stopping overthinking is recognizing that your thoughts are not facts. They are suggestions, and you don't have to follow every suggestion your mind makes. Principle 2: you can only control one thing. Marcus Aurelius wrote this in his private journal, for himself, with no intention of anyone ever reading it. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Overthinking is always about things outside your control: what they think of you, what will happen, what could go wrong, what someone else might do. Every second you spend thinking about things outside your control is a second stolen from the only place real power exists: your own response, right now, to what is actually happening. Ask yourself once, is this inside my control or outside? If it's outside, you're not solving a problem. You're feeding a habit. Principle 3: the present moment is the only place thinking is useful. Overthinking lives in two places: the past and the future. Neither of them exist right now. Marcus wrote constantly about returning to the present moment, not as a spiritual practice, as a practical discipline. Every time his mind drifted to what might happen or what had happened, he brought it back to what was actually in front of him. The present moment is the only place where action is possible, the only place where problems can actually be solved. Everything else is rehearsal for a play that may never be performed. Principle 4: done is better than perfect. Epictetus taught that the pursuit of perfection is one of the greatest sources of human suffering, not because excellence is wrong, but because perfectionism is almost always fear disguised as standards. You're not overthinking because you care about quality. You're overthinking because you're afraid. Afraid of being wrong, afraid of being judged, afraid of failing in public. The Stoic answer is direct: act anyway. Imperfectly, incompletely, with uncertainty. Because an imperfect action taken now creates more value than a perfect action taken never. Principle 5: your thoughts are not you. This is the most psychologically powerful idea the Stoics ever developed, and modern cognitive therapy is built entirely on it. You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching your thoughts. When a thought appears, this is going to go wrong, I'm not good enough, what if everything falls apart? You don't have to become that thought. You can observe it, label it. That's an anxious thought, and then watch it pass, like a cloud moving across a sky you're observing from a distance. The moment you separate yourself from your thoughts, their power over you collapses completely. Principle 6: action is the antidote to anxiety. Marcus Aurelius never sat with a problem longer than necessary. He gathered what information he could, made a decision with the best available data, and acted. Then he adjusted based on what happened. Overthinking is what happens when you postpone action indefinitely in search of certainty that will never come. The certainty you're waiting for doesn't exist. It never did. The Stoic practice is simple: pick the best available option, act, and trust your ability to handle whatever comes next. That trust in your own capacity to respond is the only certainty that's ever available. Principle 7: this moment will not last forever. Marcus wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." Whatever you're overthinking right now, this problem, this decision, this fear will not feel this way forever. Every overwhelming moment in your past eventually passed. This one will too. The Stoics used impermanence not as a source of sadness, but as a source of relief. Nothing lasts, including this. 7 principles. Your thoughts are not facts. Control only what you can control. Stay in the present. Act imperfectly. Observe your thoughts, act instead of waiting, and remember that this too shall pass. Overthinking is not a character flaw, it's a habit. And like every habit, it can be replaced with a better one. If this gave you something useful, subscribe. The books that inspired this video are linked below. See you in the next one.